This is Andy McNamara reporting for WCZR Code Zero Radio. We are broadcasting live from the Appleton Performing Arts Center here in Appleton, Wisconsin for Mile of Music 11. Mile of Music is not only a great festival to see music, but the festival really treats their artists well. And that leads us to our guest, Mitchell, who is definitely a needed and great addition to the festival this year. Mitchell, can you tell our listeners what you're doing this year at the festival?
Thank you, Andy. So I'm a vocal coach. I teach lessons out of Chicago. I have my own private studio, but I'm here this weekend working with any singers, whether it's lead singers or people in bands that want to learn more about singing. We're doing private coachings. I'm doing live set analysis. I did a couple of vocal health seminars the last couple days. So it's essentially, a giant package of all the things that I wished someone taught me when I was taking my leap into contemporary voice. And there really isn't, a whole lot of knowledge being bestowed on these up and coming artists. So they deserve the support. So that's what I'm here to bring.
And it's great that you just offer to provide this service at no cost. It's incredible.
Thank you.
And what is the live set analysis?
So I actually did one for an artist named Nigel Weirn. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And essentially I went to the venue and I watched his set and I took notes. So the kind of things that I'm looking for is less about what is he doing right, what is he doing wrong, but more about how can we serve his artistic interpretations in a way that's going to feel really good in his body. A lot of the artists here play, 3 to 4 sets throughout the weekend, and they're also artists who tour, and that's kind of a heavy vocal load for a lot of people, especially when you're in a loud environment. Aside from that, you're talking before, after the show in a loud venue. And so what we can do is kind of find ways that the artists can change their technique a little bit to the point where it won't make them sound a whole lot different, but it will make it a lot easier for them to do their job. So hopefully they'll feel fresher than they have been, having had a little bit of the help. So the analysis I watched for the way that he was standing, maybe he could have moved his arms or his hips a little more. Maybe that will help, maybe it won't. But we had a conversation about a lot of different things like that for him to give a try.
And the artists have to sign up for this. Yes. So it's not just, you're just not showing up and then delivering a critique of...
As much as I would have a field day with doing that, I don't think they would respond super kindly if I just said, hey, try all this stuff. I've had a few people sign up for the analysis, and then I did a couple one-on-one lessons today. Actually, I did a 1-on-4 lesson. I just worked with a band called Easy Honey. All of them sing, so we worked on how they can sound a little bit more uniform, and then again how they can stay fresh, how they can communicate in a more efficient way.
Do you find from your past experience that sometimes it's hard to take direction as far as, okay, I've been doing something wrong, or maybe the way I've been doing something hasn't been correct? People are set in their ways. Is it hard to take advice and then change the way you're singing? That's a
great question. I think that change is always a little bit hard for anybody. And I found that, I took tons of voice lessons when I was younger. I went to school for classical opera and theater, and I ended up not loving it. And that's when I switched to rock. But, there's ways that you can encourage people to try something new. It's less about right or wrong. It's more about how can we get you to make the sounds that you love in a way that makes you feel good in your own body? So it's less about controlling the way they sound or telling them they're doing something wrong, and more about helping them discover something that feels free, that feels positive. And most of the time, if they're willing to give that a try and it does feel good for them, they're going to want to do that, because the art is all about communication and enjoyment.
You are working at this festival, but you are also in a band.
Yes, I'm also in a band.
Can you tell us about the band?
Yes, I'm in a band called the Weekend Run Club. We are an indie rock alternative band out of Chicago. We just put out our second LP with a label called Say 10 Records out of Virginia. And we're going on tour in October. We're doing a little West Coast tour. It's our first time going out that way.
Any chance you'll play a Mile next year?
I would love to. We played Appleton Beer Factory this spring. I'm hoping to get back here sometime this year, hopefully before the application is due. And yeah, we would love to come to Mile sometime.
And it's, as far as putting that album together, you recorded it down in Chicago, or did you?
Yes, yeah, we recorded in Chicago. We did most of it on our own, and then we worked with a mixer producer out of Chicago as well.
What position do you have in the band?
I am the singer.
Makes sense.
For the last album, we had a kind of a big lineup change before it, so I did the bulk of the songwriting on the last album as well. I mean, I wrote the lyrics and the melodies and the shells, and then my bandmates made it a million times better. They're really, really great for giving me a chance to say what's in my heart and then bring it to life. With the stuff we've been writing currently, we have another album we're almost finished with. That's been a lot more collaborative, so I'm really, really excited to see how that translates once the final production is done.
And is this album up on Spotify?
Yes, it's called Liminal Space Race. We've got 1 EP and 2 LPs out right now. You can check us out, The Weekend Run Club. We're on all of the platforms.
Mitchell, I want to thank you for not only what you're doing at the festival, but also for talking with us and letting us know what, one of the extra things that Mile Music is providing to the artists to make this such a great experience. And hopefully we'll get to see your band here next year. That would be
absolutely
that'd be great.
Thank you so much, Andy. Yeah, Mile is fantastic. If you're in the Midwest, you really should come check it out. And if you're an artist, you should come check it out too, because there's a lot of people you can meet. I have met so many new people that I didn't know before this weekend.
You've been listening to WCZR Code Zero Radio.